Now, here's the MLBbro TV show, the best from MLBbro.com with Rob Parker. Let's go.
Welcome to the weekend. There were so many great stories on MLBbro.com this past week. In case you missed some, we'll take a look back. Let's start here. On a bro combo, Telly Hughes talks to former outfielder Mike Cameron and his son Daz, who's in the big leagues.
You've already experienced it a little bit last year, but I mean, just being a former big leaguer and seeing your son on this stage and knowing the hard work that it takes to get there, how proud of you just to be able to go see him and see your last name that's going to be on the back of a major league jersey hopefully for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, it's going to be extra special when you actually see it like that, because I feel like it's like the circle of life, because he started out sitting in the stands watching me, and now, we come full circle and I've getting a chance to sit down and watch the same guy that was watching me. Just proud of him, because I know how the road to the big leagues is probably one of the hardest roads that you could take in sports in general. And, for him to get a chance to do that and me to get a chance to see him play, it's going to be extra special, man. I don't know what I'm going to feel like. I know I'm going to be a little bit antsy, a little bit nervous there, because I do it even when I'm sitting in the minor league stadiums and I'm watching him play a little bit. But, to get a chance to root for him, man, and show some support to him and understanding what type of pressure that he may feel he's under, but to be able to do it and get a chance to watch him play is going to be pretty special.
This week's homeboy was J.P. Crawford, the Seattle Mariners shortstop. He's balling. This week's homeboy is Seattle Mariners shortstop J.P. Crawford. Crawford is swinging a hot bat. On Saturday, wearing Negro League uniform, Crawford hit a grand slam to help the Mariners beat the Rays 6-5. Currently, Crawford has an 8-game hitting streak, and he's doing damage. 13 for his last 35, batting .371 with 7 RBIs, 6 runs scored, and 2 home runs. During Crawford's hot streak, the Mariners have won 4 in a row and 7 out of 8. That's why J.P. Crawford is this week's homeboy. Go to LaTouraine.com, put in the promo code MLBbro, and get $42 off on a Legacy 2. David Grubb goes first to third and has a strong take on the best season by a major league pitcher.
What's up, everybody? I'm David Grubb. This is MLBbro.com, and I'm going first to third on some historically dominant pitching seasons that we need to be talking about. Look, there's a lot of conversation right now about Jacob deGrom's 2021 season and where it might rank historically. His 7-2 record, 0.5 earned run average, and more than 14 strikeouts per 9 inning. There's certainly nothing to ignore, but let's keep it real. Pitchers are dominating like never before, and there's some stat inflation going on out there this season. DeGrom is having a phenomenal year, but it isn't the greatest in baseball history. It's probably not even the best in Mets history. Outside of Tom Seaver, there has been no Mets pitcher who could touch Dwight Gooden. And in 1985, there wasn't a batter in baseball who could touch his pitching either. Dr. K went 24-4 for New York with a 1.53 ERA, and Gooden threw 16 complete games in 35 starts with 8 shutouts. You want to make it more apples to apples? Cool. DeGrom has made 12 starts this season so far, and he's averaging just about 6 innings in those. In Gooden's first 12 starts in 85, he had pitched 94 innings, nearly 2 more per contest than what DeGrom has done so far this year, going all 9 innings 5 times, and he did this while getting a 9-3 record. For the season, Doc graded out higher than any position player in the game, and it wasn't even close. Doc won the Cy Young and finished 4th in the MVP race, which wasn't bad considering that the Mets went 28-7 when he took the mound, giving him a hand in almost 30% of the team's wins that year. Now you want to go back a little further to 1968 and we can discuss the greatest season by any pitcher ever. Bob Gibson went 22-9 that year. And yeah, he finished way behind Denny McClain of the Detroit Tigers, who had 31 wins for the Tigers, the last time anyone's done that. But the only reason Gibby didn't get 30 of hess own was because the Cardinals couldn't get a hit. He led the Bigs in ERA with a minuscule 1.12 earned run average, shutouts with 13, and struck out 268 batters. He won the Cy Young, the MVP, and the Gold Glove, and it just confirmed how much of a badass he really was. But even if all you saw was the footage and didn't know the numbers, your eyes would tell you the same story. Look, Gooden, Gibson, they were the definition of aces. They took the ball every 4 days, they dominated, they intimidated, and then they repeated it. Respect the present, but know your past too. That's first to third.
On Debatable with Mark Gray, he sits down with Orioles center fielder Cedric Mullins.
Is there anybody that you patterned your game after?
So my favorite player growing up was Andrew Jones. And I grew up in Georgia, went to a handful of Braves games, really enjoyed watching him play. He was awesome. One specific memory I have of watching him was the first inning of a game, like the second pitch of the game, just gets a line drive straight to center. He makes a diving play. Like, it was pretty cool to watch, and just knowing that he was ready for action, first pitch. So, I know that he's a gamer out there and he played hard.
What do you remember most about that great Braves team? Because that was a heck of a time to be a baseball fan in the ATL.
My two favorite players on that team were the Joneses, like Andrew and Chipper. Those guys back to back could do some crazy damage. And, like you said, it was a very special team. And, it was unfortunate that they came up short a lot when I was coming up. But, they still play great baseball, and I enjoyed watching them.
And finally, on a Bro You Need to Know, it's Hall of Fame shortstop Barry Larkin. A Bro You Need to Know is Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame shortstop Barry Larkin. Barry Larkin was born and raised in Cincinnati and led the Reds, his hometown team, to a World Series championship in 1990. Larkin was a 12-time All-Star. He won the Gold Glove 3 times and was the National League Most Valuable Player in 1995. Larkin, of course, could pick it at shortstop. He won 3 Gold Gloves, but he also had a bat. He had a .295 career batting average, had over 2,300 hits, and also almost had 200 home runs in his career. Still, Barry Larkin's career will always be highlighted by that 1990 World Series championship he brought his hometown team. Without question, Barry Larkin was a great player. That's why he is a Hall of Famer. That's why he's a bro you need to know. That's our show for this week. I'm Rob Parker. We'll see you again next weekend. And all week long, check in on MLBbro.com for the best coverage of black and brown major leaguers.